but he is a rude clown. He is the most disrespectful politician I have ever encountered in my diplomatic career. During his previous meeting with Charles, he engaged in an aggressively domineering handshake that lasted over 10 seconds, and he even overstepped to pat the king's shoulder, openly mocking the dignity of the royal family. I endured it silently, but he ignored all decorum. This time, he has gone even further. At the official state arrival ceremony at the White House, he brazenly cut in front of me, muscling his way into my scheduled diplomatic handshake sequence. He turned a solemn bilateral state occasion into his own personal publicity stunt. This deliberate humiliation of others' dignity is utterly despicable. What makes it even more humiliating, of course, he will claim it was an innocent mistake, that he was unaware of protocol. But I know the truth. He is merely an arrogant man who abuses his status to act with impunity, treating rudeness as a tool to grab attention.
The so-called manifesto is a stunning thing to read, Mr. President. He appears to reference a motive in it. He writes this, quote, administration officials, they are targets. And he also wrote this, I'm no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes. What's your reaction to that?
Well, I was waiting for you to read that because I knew you would, because you're horrible people, horrible people. Yeah, he did write that. I'm not a rapist. I didn't rape anybody.
You think he was referring to you?
Excuse me. I'm not a pedophile. You read that crap from some sick person. I got associated with all stuff that has nothing to do with me. I was totally exonerated. Your friends on the other side of the plate are the ones that were involved with, let's say, Epstein or other things. But I said to myself, I'll do this interview and they'll probably, I read the manifesto, as a sick person, but you should be ashamed of yourself reading that because I'm not any of those things.
Mr. President,
and I was never,
gunmen's
excuse me, you shouldn't be reading that on 60 Minutes. You're a disgrace. But go ahead, let's finish the interview.
Five of the NHL Eastern Conference first-round playoff series between the Buffalo Sabres and the Boston Bruins at KeyBank Center in Buffalo, New York. So there was no Canadian team even playing in this game. So while the individual who was singing the Canadian national anthem, Camille Clune, she has an incredible voice, was about to start singing "Oh Canada," and she got out the first words. Seconds in, her microphone malfunctioned. It cut in and it cut out, and she wasn't able to sing it because the microphone malfunctioned. Then the crowd, the largely 19,000, pretty much Americans, right? People from Buffalo, people from Boston, because it was Buffalo versus Boston. They then start to sing the Canadian national anthem, and it was really this. It was a patriotic moment in the sense of showing how the U.S. and Canada are friends, are united, and it's people like Donald Trump who try to divide us, and people like Donald Trump who have just attacked Canada, in such a pathetic and disgusting and frankly traitorous way. When right? Didn't that your eyes? So that moment right there that you saw inspired this epic rant by Charlie Angus that I'll bring to you right now. And Charlie Angus calls it Donald Trump American psychopath. And he said, let me give you 4 or 5 reasons why it is objectively indisputed that Donald Trump is a psychopath. And you'll see as Angus goes on, he's inspired by what he saw there. He says that his brother, who frequently took trips to Buffalo, isn't going right now as part of the Canadian boycott. But seeing that there, I know, touched a lot of Canadians and meant a lot to see that, especially, you know, given obviously the love of hockey, our shared love of the sport together. Watch right here what Charlie Angus has to say. Play this clip.
Donald Trump, you are a psychopath. You are a dangerous, thin-skinned, narcissist black hole of a human being. I'm not saying that for clickbait, Donald. I'm saying that because it's really essential now that the global community frames you and understands you for exactly who you are, because you don't give a damn about the economic catastrophe that you have unleashed on the world with your disastrous war in Iran. You don't care about the UN warning about global hunger because the Strait of Hormuz has been closed to agricultural products that are essential for countries around the world. You don't care that your allies, well, you don't have allies, you hate them all anyways, are now struggling with economic shockwaves that you caused. And what's your focus? Oh yeah, you want a ballroom. That, my friend, is a sign of a dangerous, self-centered black hole of a human being. Okay, I'm going to give you just 5 reasons, Donald. You can come on my show and argue with me if you want, if you think I'm being mean to you. But I think it's a pretty straightforward argument. Number 1, where are the pets? You know, I was thinking about that with you, Donald. I mean, presidents always have pets. They always make sure everybody knows they have pets. Adolf Hitler loved dogs. Okay, they were German shepherds, but he loved them anyways. Nixon had checkers. Where's the cat? Where's the dog? Nothing. You don't like pets? Interesting sign, Donald. Number 2, how come we never see you visiting schools or hospitals, you know, the children's sick kids wards? You know, think of George W. Bush. There was a guy who probably was on the least impressive scale of the United States presidents. He was pretty down near the bottom. But that famous footage on 9/11, he's reading to children in a kindergarten classroom, and his aide whispers in his ear that the Twin Towers have just exploded. And Donald, did you see how George W. reacted? He sat there for a minute, because I think he didn't want to panic the children. Well, that's what even a guy like George W. understood, the role of a president not scaring the kids. But I've never seen you anywhere near kids because you don't like them and you don't care because you would rather be sucking up to oligarchs, right? Okay, that, my friend, is psychopathic. And number 3, you hate Canadians. Okay, you might say, well, that's just, you're just an outraged Canadian. No, Donald. I mean, I was thinking about this a lot. I mean, if you hate Canadians, who do you like? I mean, we are like your next door neighbors. We've shown time and time again, you know, if you've got wildfires in California, we'll fly our people down. You know, whenever you needed something in the United States, if you called on Canada, we were like, okay, sure, we'll help. We're like your friendly neighbors, and yet you hate our guts. You said this again and again and again, how we are the nastiest people on the planet, how you insult us all the time, every chance you get. You've never said anything bad about Vladimir Putin, but Canadians, you hate Canadians.